And we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
It's
hello,
Monday
hello.
Howdy,
night.
howdy, howdy.
Just love how our cameras are just two people dying.
We're
Just
not real
dog
people.
farts over here. They're just like that. Oh well, welcome everybody to Monday nights. Tonight we're in Primrose, spooky place.
Spooky place. Yes. Hello, everyone.
We're here
I
to
have
have good
a,
time.
I have a question for you guys.
Might have an answer.
Is it just me, or do packs of sponges, like dishwashing sponges, come pre-dampened?
What?
Yes.
Because I
Sounds like it's just you.
That's just you.
I bought a brand new pack today, a little 3-pack of the little Scotch Brite fucking dishwashing sponges, and it's not the first time, but every time I've opened them, they feel mildly damp.
They
Brother,
are.
you have sweaty hands.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
I
No.
don't know.
Why?
I
I've
don't have
never
any
in my
idea.
life opened a pack of sponges and been like, these are wet already. Or
Yeah, it's
even
not
like
wet.
damp.
Like
They're
it
not.
feels, yeah, it feels cool and damp.
Okay, go get one.
No.
This-
Where are you buying your
This
sponges
is the
from?
this is the quality
I bought it from
content
the
that you
local
get with us.
supermarket. Yeah, I mean, this is the shit that like you'd otherwise pay for from somebody else.
We're gonna go to like a random store in this game and there's gonna be sponges. And then Vader's gonna be describing them and he'd be like, they're wet. And we're gonna be like, no, that's wrong. Something's wrong with these sponges, right? And Vader's gonna be like, no, that's just a normal sponge.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm telling you, fresh pack, just a 3-pack. I opened it today. Like I bought it specifically because I needed. Oh, see, I got the green ones.
Well, obviously the green
Oh,
ones come
were those open
pre-dampened.
though? Were those open though? Like
They're individually wrapped. It's the Costco big bags. But I think these ones are
well, I mean-
older. If you get the newer ones, they are slightly moist.
See?
Both of you are insane. I'm sorry.
No,
You're almost as crazy as
next time you get fresh dish sponges, I want you to be ready for it. Open
I'm
it.
gonna
and
I'm gonna
feel it.
order it on Walmart right now. It's gonna be here tomorrow, and I need to know.
There's no way. That's
That's
no way.
that's everybody at home should do that. Next time you get sponges, feel them. They're pre-wet. Well, not wet, but damp.
You gotta get that pre-wetting sponge.
You should return them to the store and be like,
Bone dry.
It's
Yeah.
every
That said.
time. It is literally every time. But
Trust the
are they
wisdom
though?
wisdom of
Are they
crowds.
bone dry, chat? Like, go get
Yeah.
yourself a fresh sponge right now. I'm not talking about one that's been open for weeks that you just had stowing there waiting for your other one to get all messed up. Really go get yourself some fresh sponges.
It is genuinely more likely that a sponge I have just out right now would be more likely to be slightly damp than a sponge that's been in a package for like 8 years.
Well, I mean, I think it's more likely that it'd be damp in the package. Anyways, I digress. Welcome to Primrose by Moonlight. Our gothic horror D&D 5e playthrough homebrew campaign, where I run my players through my homage and nod to things like Bloodborne and Call of Cthulhu, and just a real old good fun time that gothic horror is, as I run them through the ringer. And they try to keep their sanity for as long as they can. Last time we played, you guys had a bit of a battle. After Aywyn bid you all good night, and a few of you went and caught a nightcap before returning back to your rooms. And as you all settled in, Aywyn snuck out of her room, went down to a room that had a nameplate on it, S. Verena, cast silence, and smashed the door open, where she then snuck in and continued to smash in the form of beating in a nun's brains till her entire skull caved in. The job completed, Aywyn turned to leave. But instead of being able to just walk out, Spectre of the nun arose from the bed and hopped into her body for some joyrides. The then possessed Aywyn walked down to her room, and as she was about to enter in the door, Hector heard a noise outside and checked in the hallway to see her standing there, rather weirdly. As he called out to her, she turned, and he noticed that something strange was behind the look in her eyes, and she lunged and attacked him. A brawl ensued, which eventually aroused the other. Did it arouse? Was that the right word? Arouse you from your sleep?
I mean, it was until you questioned it. So.
All right. Well, okay.
It
You
could
were
technically
aroused,
just be
and then you
roused.
got out of bed. There you
Aroused.
go. You were roused and aroused from your slumber. And you woke up to the sound of battle out in the hallway, in which you all joined in until you finally discovered that there was something wrong with Aywyn. You beat on her until eventually the ghost was expelled, and then it tried to attempt to attack all of you, focusing on Atrek and his connection to the Nebelgast. But before she could touch him and suck his life source, already having aged him about 30 years with just her visage, he struck her down, and you guys ended combat there. Now, Aywyn has been the definition of normal this entire time you guys have known her.
Positively.
Positively normal. And as of late has spoken of 3 other passengers with her in her room. Her husband and her 2 sons. People that you have not seen. But after this attack, and this strangeness, you guys decide that you need to see what's inside Aywyn's room. And you started storming towards the door. And that is where we pick up now.
Pardon me, Aywyn. We need to check your room, make sure your family's all right.
Aywyn will go. Well, I can check. I can go in real quick. We don't have to wake anybody up.
I'm sorry, didn't you just come out of here possessed by a ghost? Do you think you're going by yourself?
Well, why don't
be
you
silly.
open the
Let us out.
room? And it's not a big room, so we should be able to just look into it through the door.
So, Atrek goes to check the handle. Is it locked?
Yes.
Aywyn, your key, please. I just want to make sure your family's all right. It's great because Atrek is honestly just trying to be helpful here.
Aywyn will go, well, here, and she'll kind of shuffle past Atrek and try to get in front of the door. She'll pull out the key, but she'll try to be the one opening the door.
So if you're gonna open the door, he'll step back and give you room to open your door. But he is on your heels, ready to there's ghosts. Ghosts are my thing. Let me help.
Is there ghosts in here?
Who are you gonna call?
Ghosts.
Ghostbusters.
Aywyn
Ghost boosters.
worried about she's more worried about waking up Baron, but she's going to unlock the door and then crack it open real slow.
You crack it open, and that little pin stream of light just jets across the darkness and starts to slice through and get wider and wider as you're slowly creaking the door open, and it finally falls on the bed, and it looks like there's somebody underneath the covers asleep.
Like that. Don't like that.
Aywyn will go, do we need to wake up my family, or is this enough?
You were possessed by a ghost. I think them being awake is better than them being possessed. Then Hector's gonna try and move into the room and check in whatever corners there are.
Hmm.
Atric is trying to like either push you into the room to commit to opening the door, or work his way around you as well. It's like, I don't know. I will try to be quiet, but do you want us to check to make sure your family is not possessed, or are you okay with running the risk of them being possessed by ghosts that seem to want to kill everybody they meet?
Aywyn will go, let me see first. And she'll try to go in just by herself first.
She just tried to murder Hector. Hector's not. Stay
Saffron's
outside.
gonna just Saffron's gonna go and kind of like put her hand on Awen. I'm like, we'll let them check. We just want to make sure your family's okay. And she's gonna kind of like get her away from the door, like move her away so Hector and Atric can go inside the room and see. And she's gonna be like, are you okay?
Are you contesting this, Aywyn?
Goodness. I'm gonna roll myself a d20. This is a holy person of Avison.
Holy person.
But with that too, I think Aywyn's just gonna kind of lock up a bit. She does not want all these strangers in her room.
I got it.
She's gonna
Well, let's
she's
do
gonna
opposed.
commit.
Let's do
Oh,
opposed.
go ahead.
Let's do opposed strength.
Uh-oh.
Parky's back. I mean, not Sparky. That would be cool. But
The one
Saffron,
out of nowhere.
yeah, just comes in like, ah, sausage got the.
Oh Lord. So I just roll just strength.
Just strength.
It's not good.
It's not good here either. But that 18 will do me
Ah.
good.
Yeah, I will.
We got
Is Aywyn looking at us or into the room?
Into the room.
she's looking into the room. She's actually like, this is like someone who doesn't want like everybody's trying to force her to do. She's just completely locked down. She's like almost grabbed onto the door, not being pulled away.
Yeah, Saffron, as you try to like pull her away, like pull her away, even though you're doing so in like a comforting like manner, she is anchored. Like there's no budge to her at all. It's not you're not expecting this from a woman of her build, but it's like trying to move a cemented
Bomb strength.
pole. Yeah.
All right. Tell you what, Aywyn, you don't put us in there to risk waking your family. Would you be opposed to me sending Felton in? He's very quiet.
Awen will go, but isn't Felton undead?
Felton
He's
is
a ghost. Yes?
Felton is a warrior spirit, devoted to protection above all else.
He's a Cathar?
He would have been.
You want to make a persuasion check?
Oh God.
I hate to ask another player for a check.
No, I'm down for it. Atric is a -1 modifier in its persuasion. It's an 11, baby.
I would say with you saying like Cathar, you see Awen's eyes soften just enough that she just barely nods. She just tilts her head just a hair.
Cool. then from Atric, especially along like the seams where he was sewn up, you see that mist kind of roll out of him as Felton forms on the other side of you in the room. So I can spawn him within 15 feet of me, anywhere I can see.
Okay, so you spawn Felton in, and he appears stretching out from you into the room. And you can see his spectral image looking around as he forms in this room. But everybody give me a perception check.
No.
That is a 10. Oh, I don't have up that other rolling website. Do I need that up?
17 for Saffron.
I don't think
17
so.
for Hector.
A 9 for Aywyn.
Okay. Let's see what this sounds like. So as this spectral manifestation of Felton moves about the room, there's a moment where it moves out of view of Aywyn and Atric. But Saffron, you're able to kind of sense this rather than like visibly see it. But Hector, you see this happen, and you watch as Felton is moving around the room. He gets close to what looks like a small area where like a smaller child would sleep. And as he steps forward quietly, you watch as Felton is suddenly enwrapped in shadow spectral like appendages that begin to claw at his spectral clothes and start pulling him into the floor. And you watch as Felton, like visibly in like fear, is pulled into the shadow before any type of light that he was given off disperses. And it's just a dark room in there, just that pinpoint of light still on the bed. There's a slight shuffle of the blankets as whatever's laying in there settles again.
Do,
We need
do I
light.
get the sense that Felton has been removed from the board, so to speak?
You just feel the same feeling that you feel when you
Desummon him?
dismiss him. Yeah.
Oh, we saw very recently Felton gets sucked into a tiny little bag that was consuming all spirit energy around us, which we were hunting down because of what Atric found in his trunk. Hector's going inside, and we need light in there immediately.
Yeah, Saffron feeling that there's like something bad and she can't see. She'll probably do I have light? She'll probably start playing her violin to get some daylight in there.
Dear God, that's gonna be bright as hell in this little room.
Yeah.
We're dropping daylight, I hear.
As Felton vanishes, Atric would tense up himself and go, Aywyn, there's something in there. It's removed Felton before he was able to do anything.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have that I could use for light.
Aywyn will look at you guys and she'll go, I keep telling you, Baron does not like being woken up. And we keep sending people in there. And this keeps happening. Leave well enough alone.
Atric's
Baron's gonna learn today.
Aywyn, your husband is a mortal man, I assume. Is that correct?
Yeah. You can tell without a check. There's no confidence in that.
Yeah. Atric's just staring at her. No mortal man is removing Felton from the board without a fight.
Well, I mean, he's been blessed by the angel shadow, but
Whatever was in there was not friendly.
it wasn't friendly to being bothered and woken up, yes. Like anybody would be.
Well, if he's
If
awake, perhaps you
someone
check him
was
out.
rummaging through your room, would Felton appreciate it?
Somebody has rummaged through my room. That's where we got the nail from. This
And if
happened a handful of hours ago. That's
what
why
I'm
we are
saying
on
is if
guard.
Felton was there and present, he would have stopped them.
Most likely. You would have had a word first before just attacking a man. Not unlike with the spirit that had you possessed. Well, we called out to it first, before simply attacking it. Anybody who just walks into somebody's room and attacks somebody laying there is dangerous.
Aywyn's gonna close her eyes, kinda almost in that space, kinda put her back almost against that like window in the cart. And you can tell she's really thinking this over. And she'll go, "You saved me at the train station. One of you can go in. And the rest can watch from the doorway, but no one else is gonna wake up my family."
Adric looks over his shoulder at Hector. Your eyes seem more perceptive than mine.
Yep. As soon as that light appears, Hector's gonna slip into the room. Since we're hunting a creature that consumed shadow, he will have weapons out.
Aywyn
Okay.
is going to drop into her prayer, and she's going to beg the shadow not to hurt Hector. Like,
Hector
desperately praying.
Hector moves in to the room, now illuminated with the eerie tones of a violin being played by Saffron. The room shines brightly, but it still seems to have a natural resistance. The shadows are played in long and almost alive themselves as you move through. Even your shadow seems to be distorted a bit. Give me a perception check there, Hector. And give me a persuasion check, Aywyn.
Fingers crossed. 15 on persuasion.
Dirty 20 for perception.
Hector, as you look in, you can see, you see the bed. You see two little, like, makeshift looking cots with, like, piles of blankets and stuff on the floor. And they are all occupied. You can't see any features. It looks like they're completely covered underneath the blankets. Maybe their head shoved underneath the pillow a little bit. But the one on the bed stirs a little slightly. But there's no further movement. You can hear breathing, soft, kind of coming from multiple areas in the room.
Okay. I will, even though it's light but not light, I will check under the bed, in the trunk, it pretty much, and there's another small side chamber, washroom, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, that's the bathroom.
I will look everywhere I can for anything resembling what Atrix saw and showed us, or any kind of undead, questionable things.
You look in the the bathroom. You look kind of like around the room and then under the bed. As you get close to the bed, you can hear that soft breathing. It sounds, now that you're closer, it sounds a little bit more labored and haggard. Like there's a bit of a rasp, as if like something is built up in like your chest, like you have a very bad like congestion. So it's like a bit of like a gargle type breath. Now that you're close, but it's deeper than it sounded when you were just standing at the door. And you're looking under the bed. It's darkness, even with the light kind of like leaning in. It's where it's positioned, it's just still casting that shadow underneath. You don't see anything. As you go to stand up, you place your hand on the bed and push yourself up. And as your head becomes level with the top of the bed, there's a shadow in your face, two red glowing eyes, and then you feel an inverse, as if the life force of your entire being is being sucked out. I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh, goody.
So before we get too much further into this, I do want to point out that I do have the Rite of the Dawn up. I had to scroll way
Okay.
up to see that was still there, but it is.
Love it.
All right.
Keep
This-
waking up Baron, guys. Jeez.
I'll stab Baron in the
Hey.
goddamn throat.
Man, if you got married to a shadow monstrosity from the Eldritch Underworld, that's on you. I'm sorry.
That's a 14 for my initiative.
Okay, I need to roll.
Oh,
We used to murk every time I look at Aywyn stats. I'm like, wow, these are like all right. Dirty 20 on Aywyn's initiative.
Oh, do we all need to roll?
Yes.
My bad. 8 for Atric. Buddy,
Okay.
one day I'll get you above double digits, I promise.
Man, this music. I wasn't ready.
8 for Saffron.
Okay. So, because of your good perception there, Hector, this thing does not get a surprise attack. However, it did roll a higher initiative, so it is going to go first as the shadow erupts. And like, if you remember the scene from Ghostbusters, where they're at the library and it's just like the chill like ghost for a moment, and then when they start talking to her, she gets all like monstrous and stuff like that. This happens as the shadow begins to swell and it lifts up the blankets over it, which like shifts off to the side, and you just see these two glowing red eyes, and you can just feel like the room being, like the air in the room being sucked in, and then you just start to see multiple shakings coming from those little bedspread areas as well. Thing is going to come out. Target you. Doesn't have a surprise attack, so it's not at advantage. So only a 10. This thing reaches out and tries to grab you, but you're able to just like jump backwards as it begins to swell up, and it becomes the size of an adult man. Aywyn, that is your turn. You're in your mind. You hear shouting, just layers upon layers of a man shouting. Not one thing, but multiple instances, as if it's just time and time and time being repeated of this man shouting different obscenities and just foul things, and that's all you can hear. Give
Aywyn,
me a sanity roll.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
no! I always forget those are a thing until they come up, and they're always so scary.
It's this page. That's a beautiful 7.
You take 3 points of sanity damage as all this starts to take over in your head, and it's just you want it to stop, and you need it to stop.
All right. Aywyn's gonna have a little bit of a breakdown. Just real quick, how do I calculate my total again?
It is your score times 5.
So it should, if it's 15, it's 60 then. So
I
now
don't know.
it's I'm just gonna write
75.
it's
75.
all right, 75. So now it's 72. Yeah, 72.
Okay.
Man, you are insane. You get a high-handed score is probably
Oh,
good for you.
we're about to go insane. Aywyn will kind of like, her voice will drop as she just goes, "Keep telling you just to leave well enough fucking alone. Now I have to kill them a second time." She's gonna walk in the room.
I have to kill them a second time.
As Awen walks into the room, you watch as the shadows of the room begin to swirl around, and even the light that's coming off this violin that Saffron is playing is starting to become a little dimmer, and you just watch this maelstrom of shadows start to swirl around Awen. Her hair starts to pick up a bit, and you now can all hear the sounds of this man just shouting again. Multiple instances of just somebody shouting at the top of their lungs, and it's just. You can feel the heavy and the weight, and then you all begin to hear the soft, muffled cry of children. I need everybody to give me a sanity roll, including Awen.
It's just a D20.
That's an 8 for Atric.
That's a 4 for Awen.
Oh, there it is.
D20 plus stuff.
Farewell to sanity.
That's a natural 20 for Hector for 25.
I
It's
love
a
dice
19
sometimes.
for Saffron.
All right, so as Awen steps in and she's berated by this, and then suddenly hears that soft, muffling, whimpering sound. You watch as she kind of visibly staggers back, and Atrek, you hear it, and it just triggers something deep in your memory of something that occurred in your past. You think of a time where you and Sava were playing on the grounds, and she fell and skinned her knee. You hear that whimpering cry, and then your mind just plays through the events of what took place at that final dinner, and you guys both take 4 points of sanity damage.
Oh boy.
So that
Starting
is
the down run.
7. That is 7 for Awen. That is 5 in one given day. We're going to roll on the Bout of Madness table.
Oh boy.
We're having a good turn, guys.
Now I have to kill them a second time. What is going on? I just wanted to make sure they weren't possessed. I didn't realize you already murdered them.
Who said a
This is
second
why-
time? She said again. Maybe she said a second time. She meant to say again.
Roll me a D100 and then roll me a D10.
D100 coming out.
Oh, no.
That is a 93. I hope good is better. Here's the 10. That's a 10. Oh, no, that's 4. I saw that 10 for a second.
As you guys watch as Awen steps in, her hair starts whipping around, and then you could see Hector, you look at her face and she's bawling, crying, and you can hear this soft whimpering, and then suddenly she falls unconscious. As she falls unconscious, There is a palpable rage that fills this room, a bloodlust, and it's all focused on one person. And that man is standing here, disturbing the peace. So Aywyn falls unconscious. Hector, that is your turn. You have spurned the shadow, and it now wishes to see you dead.
I need a deception check from the shadow, please.
All right.
I might now be mentally screaming.
Might be. Oh my god.
Oh no!
11.
That's all right. I rolled just as bad. 2.
Okay, good. So I get fucking sneak attack on this beach. I'm gonna get to stabbing the shadow with the silver needle. That's a 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
All right, so damage plus 1d6 for sneak attack plus, oh god, what's Dread Ambusher?
What are you getting
That's
sneak attack from?
He's
insightful
got
fighting.
insightful fighting.
Oh, good.
That's yeah,
I was like,
that's
it's
all
like
right.
Aywyn's unconscious.
Yep. Hold on, and then oh no, I don't get the extra on this attack. I get it on the second attack. So yeah, 4 grand. Oh, that was garbage rolls. 10 points of piercing damage with the silvered weapon.
10 points. All right. You stab into the shadow, and there's a moment where the form that's coming to get you staggers back and almost kind of fades and shrinks back. And you notice as it's shrinking back towards Aywyn. But it still stands.
All right. Dread Ambusher attack. 24 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
All right. Plus
Read.
1d8. Shit damage. 12 points of piercing damage.
Where is your Dread Ambusher?
Do. Dread Ambusher. At the start of your first turn of combat, your walking speed increases by 10, which lasts until the end of that turn. If you take the attack action on turn, you can make an additional attack, weapon attack as part of that. That attack takes an extra d8 damage of the weapons type.
And you added that. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's not on the
So-
first attack because that's the sneak, but then the second attack
Ye-
gets the Dread Ambusher.
You stab into the shadow that has taken on the form of like a full-grown man, and as your second slice goes through, it fully like disapparates for a moment, and then you see it just reappears standing over not Avison, but Aywyn, just staring at you, standing over her unconscious body.
All right. That's action, and I will shift around a bit. You said it's directly over Aywyn,
Yeah,
so if I move here, I'm not leaving melee range.
you can't stand there. There's a well, you can. It'll just be considered squeezing because of like the dresser.
Okay, I just want to clear the doorway is all I wanted to do.
No worries. Okay. Probably should have began combat. Okay. You watch as you move over, and this shadow like starts to stand over Aywyn's body, just staring at you. The red eyes forming. It kind of turns its head to the right a little bit, and you watch. Sorry, to the left, and you watch as that like pile of uh, blankets and stuff on the floor begins to rise up, and as it slips down, you see the two red eyes, but this form only goes about waist tall as a younger kid appears. Just a shadowy form, this red eyes just staring at you, and it lunges at you, flying over Aywyn to attack you.
Good.
Get him, Hadar!
Oh God.
No.
Why? Okay. I, for some reason, am not getting any music, by the way.
Yeah, it just stopped. Let me get us
Because I just had to refresh because I wasn't getting any music.
So we might have lost cameras on stream too.
That's because I'm fidgeting with the thing.
I believe in you.
Yeah. There we go.
There it is.
Because trying to get music going.
I don't know. I was kind of digging that upbeat piano.
I didn't hear any of it.
Although that piano did give me anxiety.
All right. Everybody hear that?
Nope. I get
Still,
nothing.
Still building. Refresh your foundry.
Refreshing.
Click buttons.
That's refreshing.
Buttons are friend.
I like how Aywyn though had her moment of like, I'm gonna be a badass, walked in the room and passed the fuck out.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
I do love that 2 of our 3 combats have been against Aywyn.
Yeah. Y'all just have to fuck around and find out.
Man, I was just trying to help. She was possessed. She's got children in there. At this point, Atric does not know that her husband is abusive and her children are undead shadow things that she's had to kill multiple times. So that's from Aywyn's suffering has ended for now. Man, she's just napping. We don't know if she's not having a nightmare.
I mean, yeah, that's what sleeping is the temporary break in suffering.
Just to go back to
Man,
that's what I had. Okay, shadow attack on
Me again.
you again.
Hey, music.
Oh, I can't roll for shit.
What a jaunty tune.
Yeah, another shadowy appendage reaches out, this time much lower, and you're able to kind of like push yourself back. You bump into the wall as you try to move yourself as this thing's red eyes just come looking at you, and like as you like back away, you watch as it just kind of disperses and sinks back, and it's standing again right next to the tall man, and they're both sets of red eyes are just looking at you. Another bedspread starts moving as another slightly taller than the second one, but still shorter than the first one. Another shadowy humanoid visage appears.
That would be sore.
And they're going to attack Hector again.
Remember, these shadows have names.
I like that.
Digital dice are about to get done for me tonight because they're not. That's a 12. Like Hector, you're just dodging these shadows, but it's the weight of like the hatred that you feel as they get closer to you is becoming like almost unbearable. And the longer you stay in this room, the harder it starts feeling to be able to move. Saffron, that is you, my friend. You are playing your violin at the moment, so you can cast light.
Yep. While I'm doing that, can I move to? Why can't I freaking move? Oh, wouldn't this be like lit up? No, because I can't really see anything unless I like move. But I'll cast Turn Undead.
All right, I like it. So you stop playing the violin because I believe it's an action to continue playing it.
Yeah, I think so.
Say there is still light up from Atrix Hammer.
Yeah, but not as bright.
It's only 20 foot of bright and 20 foot of dim. But it's not like walking in there with the sun itself. No.
Um,
No, I'm sorry. It's literally just 20 feet of bright light. No dim.
yeah, I need wisdom saving throws from everything that's undead in there.
Let's see, a 20 from one of them, and a 3 from the other one.
3 will fail. 20 should be okay. It needs to try to get away from me as far as it can. That's my action. I don't think I have any bonus actions.
I'm trying to see. Oh, you don't have Destroy Undead yet. Okay. So it's boom.
Mm,
Far away from you. Okay. Cool. Cool.
yep. It's gonna be my turn.
All right. Atrek, what do you do, my friend?
Can I shoulder my way around Saffron there, or
No.
I can't? No, there's something in the doorway there.
Yep. It's like the
I-
shadow has like formed a barrier, especially now that daylight isn't being produced here.
I gotcha. Well, I can kind of see into the room here. Can I spawn Felton over here? My bonus action.
You can certainly try.
Oh, alrighty then. That is, uh, plop. Yeah, perfect. Cool. And then from Felton's position, I will make my attack on this dude in the doorway because that's a bad shadow.
Oh, I should probably show him. Okay. Go ahead, make your attack. This time, Felton like crawls back out of the shadow. You see like his spectral hand appear in the darkness and just starts pulling himself up out of the ground.
I dig that. He's a good lad, our Felton. This button is over here. At advantage because of reasons, right? Yeah. Does a 13 hit?
It certainly does.
Sweet. And it's undead, so it takes an extra d4 from the right of the dawn. Normal. For 11 points of damage. I don't know why it's not roll and die, but 11 points of damage.
Right, that would be the guy in front.
6 of which is radiant, if that matters.
Yes, it does. Um, Okay, so I'm seeing a D8, and then 2D4s,
Hmm.
right?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay. Okay. So your actual first initial impact seems like it's not having as much of an effect as you want, but as the glow um, of the glow of your crimson right explodes, it sends shockwaves into this shadow. But you watch as the shadow of Hadar takes a hit, and you watch as like the shadow kind of defragments a bit, and then you can hear like a sickening crack is and it looks up at you and says, "Why would you do that?"
Oh no. Oh no.
Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, it's your spirits possessing children. Why wouldn't I do this? And that will be the end of Atrix's turn. That's bonus action attack, and I'm only at level 3, so I don't get extra attacks yet. Yep, that's it.
Okay. This shadow is going to well, it's just gonna keep going after Hector. It's going to shut the door. And now it is completely dark in this room. And the shadow is going to go after Hector with advantage.
Oh, that's not good.
20 to hit you.
20
Dirty 20.
will hit.
All right.
And it matters not with the advantage because there's just a lot of them, or because it's dark. Because I can technically see them still.
Cool beans.
Dark vision. Yay.
You take 4 points of necrotic damage. And your strength score is reduced by 2.
Oh no.
Oh
As you
no.
feel as you feel your life force being drained out of you.
Hector's really strong though, right?
Well, we'll find out.
He has a lot of those strengths.
Aywyn, you're unconscious, unfortunately.
I call that getting a head start on my long rest.
Yeah. Yep. Hector, that is your turn. Now that the door has been shut, the light has been cut off, your companions have been cut off, and you can just feel this force just swelling up all around. The malicious intent is so palpable you can taste it.
That was from the one hovering over Aywyn that attacked me.
Yeah, if you wanna, the one directly to your left.
Oh, wait. That was one of the kids, I thought.
Yes.
I thought
That
this was the one
that
that was hovering over him, over Aywyn.
Oh,
that's the one I was
that
attacking before.
That one's technically not a thing anymore.
Oh, okay.
There's the two main
Oh, okay.
children that are attacking you.
Okay. I was confused. All right. So, little punk in the door. Let's get that. The only thing I'm good with. Give me that old deception check. Or does Felton count as an ally nearby? For the
Yeah.
sake of.
Yeah,
Okay. So.
he does.
Okay. So disregard the deception check.
Felton's
And
doing his job.
what are our advantage rules in this? I don't remember.
As long as you are targeting the same creature as an ally, you have advantage.
This be the Saman.
It was the one at the door that Felton had gone after.
And that's the one I plan on sticking. with a shiny cane. That's a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Damage plus 1d6. I need more sneak attack damage. 15 points of stab damage with the silver needle.
You watch as you hear this child's voice ask Atrek, "Why did you do that?" Before it shuts the door, and then turns towards you, sticks its shadowy hand into you, and you just red eyes is glaring. You stab back with your silver needle, and you watch as it just gets hit and coughs up blood, and it splatters onto you, and the shadow of this younger boy sinks back into the ground and creeps towards Aywyn, and then, just like the father, rights itself up, standing over her body, just looking at you.
Alrighty then. I will offhand give a little stab. Friendly little poke with the dagger, which is an 11, which is not going to hit, I don't believe.
No.
All right.
This one's eyes are a little dull, as if it's doesn't have as much fury burning in them. But as you stab out, it kind of just swirls around the blade, and then reconstitutes.
All right. That is me.
Okay. That one's done. Oh no, go back. Let's see. Door shut, but does that impact it anyway? Turn creature must spend its turn. Try and move as far away from you as it can.
I think because she's out of line of sight, it doesn't.
That's what I'm checking here. Because it already made the wisdom saving throw and failed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have it honor the thing, because so it is, but it doesn't have to move because the door's shut. So it would just not use it. It just doesn't attack this turn.
Okay.
As its turn goes by, you watch as those eyes flare up, and the red becomes more intense as they're just burning into you. Saffron, door shut.
Can I open it, please?
You can try, but it's locked.
I'm gonna kick it.
All right, give me either a strength or a roll an attack.
Just like a regular attack
Yep.
with my sword, maybe.
Okay, you're gonna strike it with the sword. I like it.
Yeah.
I do need to sleep on this train later. Might need a
Okay, you
door.
can sleep. Oh my god. Never mind. It's a 7.
So you go to strike it with your sword, and there's almost like a glue like substance that begins to make it hard for you to pull your sword away, and you can visibly see the strands of adhesive pulling at your sword, and you're able to wrench it free. And as it snaps back to the door, it forms a regular wooden door that still remains locked. I will say that was your action to attack the door.
Okay. I can't misty step into the room, can I? Because I have to see where I go.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you're not gonna be able to go into the room.
Okay, that was my action. Adric, are you doing well with healing? Are you okay? Or you're looking bloodied?
No, Atric's fine. I think Atric did more damage himself, letting if the right than anything else has.
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Atrix, it's your turn.
Yeah, I saw her try the door. The door is locked. And I'm hoping this works. You start to see the color bleed out of Atric as I try to teleport and swap places with Felton.
Do you need to be able to see?
No. It says no matter the distance between you, it doesn't mention line of sight at all. I will leave that to. Let me put this here. Did that post it? Yes.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I like it. Switch places. I got you on.
Appreciate you. Whew. Let there be light.
You swap places and you're standing right next to Aywyn's body, and you look and there's just these two shadowy figures, their eyes just staring forward at Hector, but as you appear, they just look to the side out of the corner of their eye at you.
What's in the bloody bases going on? Are the two that are just staring at me making like aggressive moves, or they're just like there being
They're
creepy
just there.
porcelain dolls? Okay.
Just there being creepy.
Phenomenal. Atrix is going to take a step away from the creepy ass shadows because they're no longer being aggressive, and he knows spirits are finicky. If I it was bonus action to swap. If I were to attempt to wake Aywyn, is that an action?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Or there's
Hello.
Something happened. What happened?
I don't know. It's fucking pissing me off. Nothing. It just fucking doesn't work. Because everything I fucking touch is ruined.
you're a
Oh,
trooper,
whoa.
Sylvan.
It's back. Stream's back.
Groovy.
Did Stream come back with that too, or just
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck, I know.
It's fine.
Beautiful.
Good lord. All right.
So
Wish there was a way.
Stream crashed Does that mean that 1 and 2 on an advantage don't count, and I get to reroll that?
No, it means it absolutely counts.
Ah, I tried. I
You
wish
did
I had
try.
loaded die. You see what this nonsense you done did to me over here? I swear.
That roll didn't happen live on stream though, so I mean, can we prove
right
it
here.
really happened?
It's right here. It's right there. It's got red
Unfortunately,
sticks.
it's in the chat. Our chat cursed me. It's okay.
We're back.
Wait.
We're back.
I hope everybody had a chance to check their sponges while we were dealing with that.
Dude, leave the sponges alone, all right? They're dry when you buy them. If you're buying wet sponges, you're shopping at the wrong store.
You're dry when I bought you whatever. One shadow left. Aywyn still unconscious. These two shadowy figures just standing over her, just staring at these two intruders. Again, the air becomes heavier with malicious intent and hatred. Hector, what do you do?
Oh, shit. Curse and swear because fucking internet hates me. But Hector gonna do what Hector do best.
I'm not familiar with
Shank
that
a
spit.
motherfucker. Oh, come on. 26 to hit.
26 hits for show.
96. 10 points of piercing damage
Okay.
as he comes around, stabs with the silver needle, dagger in the other hand. Gonna get to stabbing with that one too. 17 to hit.
17 will also hit.
7 points of piercing damage with Farshard's eye.
All right, as you stab twice into this this other shadow. What was the name you gave it there, Chug?
It's sore.
Sore. As you stab into Sore's shadow, he disperses for a second, again creeping back towards Aywyn, and then he reconstitutes, and you just see this tall man, Baron, staring down at Aywyn. To his left, we see Hadar staring down at Aywyn, these red eyes. To his right, we see Sor, red eyes, all staring at Aywyn's unconscious body. And you watch as like they begin to melt and begin to creep into and underneath Aywyn. And you watch as like her eyes shoot open and they're just completely blacked out. And then there's an explosion of necrotic energy from around her. I need everybody in this room, except for Aywyn, to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Goody.
Dex save.
Strength, not my dex.
15.
Oh, good.
You might be muted, Sylvan.
That's an 8.
All right. So you'll take the full brunt of this, Hector. Atrek, you will take half of this. Let's see.
Half again. I'm currently resistant to necrotic.
You take 9 points of necrotic damage.
All right, and that eruption came from Aywyn?
Yep. And as the shadow, this necrotic energy like explodes outward, it sends like the bed and all the linen and all that shunting into the walls and kind of like dishevels the whole room, and now it looks like a bit of an earthquake has gone through here. The bed is crooked, the mattress is like off of its actual frame and like flipped into the wall. The chest of drawers is now kind of open and disheveled, but the room seems to lose that presence of just cruelty. And you guys are out of combat. the door creaks open behind you. And Saffron, you can now see inside.
Saffron's gonna
Aywyn-
come running in.
Is Aywyn conscious?
She's unconscious
And,
at the moment.
just to clarify, she's unconscious while standing up with blackened eyes or
No,
now
she
limp on the
was
floor?
she was on the ground unconscious. When the
Okay.
shadows sucked back into her, she kind of like jutted upwards, arms to the back, like arched in a,
Exorcist, like
yeah, very exorcist, eyes wide open but just black. And then
Okay, now then she crumpled back down to the floor.
yeah, and then she crumpled back down to the floor.
Okay. So, anybody know what the fuck that was? Actually,
Painful.
why? This feels more up Atrix. This feels more up Atrix alley than him asking somebody else. Does Atrix have any idea what the hell just happened? Is there a roll or something I can check to try and figure that out?
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana roll.
Alrighty then. $12.
So, like the Nebel gas is attached to you, this is something similar, but it's not Nebel gas. But you're not sure what is attached to her. But just like you, there's something attached to her.
Well, this might be a problem. Looking around at the trashed room and everything. Atrix would try and set the bed back up, and if he can, drag her up onto the bed. Or lift her up onto it. Just so she's off the floor.
Aywyn's not
I mean,
heavy.
like, can we like try to wake her up? Like,
Yeah, and I mean, and you do so, and it takes a couple of minutes. It takes almost 5 minutes before she actually wakes up.
Well, before she wakes up, is her chest unlocked at the foot of her bed?
No,
Okay.
we were told to lock that.
That's fair.
Did you keep the key on her?
Oh yeah.
Because Hector has no fucking scruples. He'll take the key and open the chest.
As I said, like Atrix is not about to search an unconscious woman in her room. That would be odd. But if you have no scruples,
Hector tried
she'd
to be
gladly
murdered
take
by shadows in this room. He doesn't give a fuck.
That's
He's gonna
fair.
figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
Well.
no,
Would you like to know what's in the box?
I would. What's in the box?
what's on the
So-
box?
So we got here a little bit of what we call supplies. There is 10 feet of chain, a bag of caltrops, several flasks of oils, some manacles, a bottle of alchemist fire, several smoke grenades, and 1,000 ball bearings.
I try not to judge.
There is
but,
also
yeah.
a set of ritual robes.
do we recognize what kind of ritual robes?
I'm gonna take a look at the robes and see if there's any markings that might be recognizable.
Yeah, we don't wake her up yet. Some shit's going down. We're being nosy.
Those who are looking at the robes, give me a religion check.
Yeah, I can do that.
So can I assist somebody instead of rolling my own?
Are you proficient in religion?
I am.
Well, then yes.
As a matter of fact, I am.
You take
Nerd.
advantage.
I said 21.
And a 17.
07's chat for Aywyn. I'm just kidding.
So I will allow Chug to describe this. With the way these look, they with Saffron's really good roll, she's able to pinpoint exactly what the imagery or the symbols are attributed to.
just to make sure, these are my my cult robes, right?
Are you a heretic? The heresy out of you.
Yeah, so these are robes depicting the demon Gristlebrand, the nemesis to Avicen, the antithesis, the big devil demon of the world.
You
You know,
heretic.
so the bottom, like, as it's like depicting the demons like spread and its like wings kind of like go up the chest, like to the shoulders. It also, like, at the bottom you can see like just pools of dry, like it has like dried blood, layers upon layer upon layer, has like turned the white bottom of this robe just red, and it almost seems like it doesn't, it didn't turn like brown as like red normally does. It like keeps like a fresh scarlet. um yeah.
Um, that's not good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to respond to this. This is
Guess what she has? Manacles. Guess where those are going? On her.
Is it just I'm not opposed to this idea, but perhaps we should use manacles that she doesn't own.
Well,
Hey, when you wake up at this moment, to
Ah,
see all three of them going through your stuff.
yeah.
uh
I'm looking at her like, perhaps we should not be using those. Oh, she's awake.
Yeah, her you look over and like she's unconscious for a moment, then like you turn back around and then you look again, her eyes are just
Wide open.
Hey, wouldn't
wide
it be a
open.
yeah? And Adric's gonna walk over there and put a hand like right here on her and keep her pinned to the bed, and I'm gonna start taking her knives and things away from her.
uh
You can test in this A1.
Aywyn will look at him really confused. She
Ah.
goes, "Did I get possessed again?"
Something of the sort. So I have a handful of questions here. I'm not sure
Uh,
which one is most important, so I'm going to start with the one that is freshest.
where is everybody? Where's Baron and the kids?
Oh, they seem to be
Awen,
possessing you actively.
you are not hearing what Atrek is saying.
Oh,
You are being yelled at by Baron and being held down by Baron as your eyes open. You do not see Atrek, you see Baron.
oh, uh, well then, hmm. Let's flip a coin. Let's roll a d2.
Flipping coins, rolling dice. It's a
Uh,
game of D&D.
so on a tails or one, she will fall into herself, and on a 2, she's gonna treat Baron how she treated him last. That is a 1. So
Makes sense.
Awen will start begging Atrek, Baron, please, Baron. She's just like trying to like flail and hold her arms up. She's covering her head.
Atrix is all of a sudden very uncomfortable. This went from interrogating a potential heretic cultist to this poor woman is abused and thinks I'm the abuser. And while I did, I guess, beat the shit out of your children, I haven't hit you once yet. So
He was stabbed by a member of this party, though. I mean, she was
uh,
trying to stab them, to be fair, but
yeah.
Well, she
And-
like tries to like jut up and like push herself to the corner of the bed. Do you allow Awen to sit up?
if I have her dagger, I'll let her sit up. If Atrix managed to grab the dagger at this point, he will let her stand up.
are you
she doesn't stand
grabbing
up, but she just-
the dagger? Sorry, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, like your main weapon that Atrix has seen you use to fight with before, he will pull that away from you.
Well, okay. It does not stay there, as it is a packed weapon. Awen will summon it to her hand
follow
and like hold it out.
Yeah, Yeah, so she's like pushed back into like the corner of the room, still sitting on the bed, just this packed weapon pointing at you.
Aywyn, my name is Atruk. Do you know where you are? And I'll pull Felton into the room too, to have Felton just kind of behind him here. Why can I move Felton?
There are now 2 barons in the room.
No,
Yeah.
as Felton comes in,
Got him.
you start to get your bearings, and suddenly, as you're looking around, like this visions of a ghost moving out of your peripheral causes you to look away from Atrek for a moment, and then when you turn back, it's actually Atrek's face. The room is normal, besides the obvious dishevelment from a necrotic blast, but you don't see Baron, you don't see the children.
What's going on?
When we first met, I asked you a very simple question. I asked if you were going to try to kill me. Right now, you have a dagger at my throat. Your shadow has been very aggressive. And apparently, you worship Gristlebrand? So, I'm going to ask you again.
They had a question. Who's Gristlebrand?
You asked that?
Yeah, A when he goes, who's Gristlebrand?
In your
Insight on that statement for sure.
Atrix busy. He's not. I can't help with that. You have a set of robes. Nice
What is
hat there.
26.
You hold up the robes?
I don't know if Atrix holding them yet or not, because I was trying to get your weapon away from you, but
Yeah.
he would mention the robes.
When she says, who's Gristlebrand, Hector's going to definitely look closely at that and try and figure out if she's full of shit.
Awen will go, those aren't mine. I don't know whose those are.
Okay.
They were in your belongings.
Awen will lower the blade.
That's good. Atrix keeps one hand out, like out towards you, like you're still dangerous, because you are. Okay.
If
So,
they're not yours, why would we find them in your belongings? This is your room. This is your chest where your supposed family has been sleeping. And I got attacked by your family to discover you are a worshiper of, or a follower of, Gristlebrand.
Awen will kind of puff up at that, and she goes, I will excuse you one more time. I follow the Archangel Avison. I follow her shadow. I have told you this multiple times.
yes.
I don't know whose robes those are.
Okay.
I don't even know why they're there.
Well,
Explain then the shadowy figures that tried to tear me apart in this darkness that were supposedly your family. The undead monsters you brought to us.
Told you. I don't know how many times I stayed out of this room. It was at your insistence that you barged in here. I told you Baron does not like to be disturbed.
It was through your actions of trying to stab me that I felt it necessary to check for other threats.
had you mentioned that Baron and your children were shadowy creatures of the undead, perhaps I would have been less concerned about them being possessed. As a ghost, I do not believe, I've never seen it, can be possessed.
Aywyn will kind of like almost like scratch at her head a little bit. She doesn't like to think about Baron and the kids too much, so you can see there like she's starting to like disassociate just a little bit again. As she sits there and she just goes, "Why? If they were a threat, you've dealt with them, yes?"
Well,
For the moment, until they flew
perhaps.
inside of you.
And you get them out?
Potentially. I would have to see if I have enough regents here to perform an exorcism.
Your family is dead.
And this one might hurt. As you walked into this room before you passed out, you said now you need to kill them again. What did you mean by that? Because honestly, that sentence has really one previous meaning, and it is not a great look for you. So, in an effort that we are all on this train together, we all seem to be into this for till the end of the ride at least. We're just trying to build some trust between us. What happened to you, Aywyn?
You will see Aywyn kind of looks down at like her lap. She's like kind of curled, like again back still in that corner. She's tried to drop more into like a like cross-legged seat, and she'll look down at her lap, and you can like see her eyes darting like rapidly. She's like in like very deep thought, and she goes, "I was I was told that it was the only way to save the town, to save Avison."
To do, you were told what was the only way and by who?
The, the Archangel, her shadow had told her that if her family lived, if my family lived, they the church's light would be snuffed out. And like you can see like her eyes are like darting. She will not make eye contact with anyone.
I'm trying to understand here. The angel's shadow told you to murder your family, or else the church's light would be snuffed out.
And you'll see like just like tears running down her cheeks as she goes, I I managed I I managed to get some hemlock into the stew, but only Sore ate. He didn't fuss, he just ate whatever I would put in front of him. So I waited for Hadar to go to sleep when, I had to use the pillow. But Baron caught me. He just wouldn't stop yelling. He wouldn't understand. He knew the angel. He knew about the shadow. I Everything I had done, I did to save my village. But he just wouldn't listen.
You murdered your boys, who trusted their mother. Do you think that was on the word of the angel herself?
Aywyn will go, yes, I was promised 7 years.
7 years of what?
She will kind of choke out. I was happy for 7 years, but we have to sacrifice for the church. She will kind of dart around. Saffron not being in the room, she would just go. The Saffron would understand. The church asks sacrifices of us every day.
Saffron's in the room.
Oh,
Saffron.
okay. I didn't see her token in the room, so I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's actually just outside the doors. I imagine she's
Yeah.
just like leaning on the door
she's
frame.
just lurking outside the door.
You did
Uh,
what?
As she says, Saffron would understand. Atric will actually step back and nod to Saffron.
Nope.
Saffron, is this true? Does the church routinely ask people to murder their children?
Aywyn, what church are you talking about?
Church of the Angel Avison. Half
The
a year's
angels.
grain.
Avison's
90% of your coin. Go fight in the militia. Join the Cathars. They ask sacrifices of us every day. Why would the angel, if it meant saving the world, why would the angel balk at a few more lives?
Because you don't save the world by sacrificing innocence.
Aywyn, it seems like you've been deceived. The Church of Avison never asks anybody to sacrifice their family for happiness.
Aywyn's eyes will widen as you say deceived, and she goes, "No. I saved my village.
Which is
The
name of your
angel
village?
told me of their coming. We defeated those gas and zombies because of the angel shadow. We rooted out spies because of the angel's shadow. The heretics in our village were only stopped because we found them through the angel's shadow.
Aywyn.
The nun I killed tonight, she would have killed us all, but the angel shadow told me what had to be done."
Aywyn. Did you murder a nun on this train? You lost sound.
Oh shit! I muted myself. Awen will kind of flinch back, and she goes, "I was told to. As I said, I was told to by the angel shadow. And if you want to doubt it, I'll call it here right now. I'll have her speak to all of you."
Do it. Call her. I want to know who this angel shadow is.
Is this... Oh, God.
Because it does not sound like Avison to me at all.
Yeah, so this isn't ringing a bell for any of us about how the church normally operates, right? Like...
Mm-mm.
I mean, this is more so meeting somebody who's been talked to by Jesus.
Okay, this is...
This isn't like, oh, the church told you to do this. This is like, God told me.
Full zealot.
Joan of Arc was an inspiration.
Yeah, you're wild. Aywyn, what was the name of your village?
Yeah, note. I'm gonna go with I didn't put one, and I think it's just like one of those towns that's so small that it didn't have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Awen just goes, "It didn't have a name, like many of the hamlets in our cursed world."
Were there any rumors or anything of a village rallying itself to defend itself against zombies, and or a village that had a brigade from the church sent out to help set it right that was failed? That, like, the brigade was wiped out.
Atrek, you would remember because you guys are like from the same like area in Innistrad. On your travels north, you ran into a huge mass of zombies moving
Roll
through.
caller. Eight. Oh damn.
Aywyn's from the
that's
same
one hell of a
goddamn
throwback.
town. Aywyn's from the same goddamn town that we got the Wendigo child.
Oh. What is this
No.
shadow? I don't trust this shadow.
Yeah, if
Well-
she offers to reveal the shadow, she can certainly do it. But Hector is pointing a weapon at her, and not far away.
I mean, Aywyn got challenged to bring it out.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Aywyn will close her eyes in prayer.
Does the prayer she's saying sound like a prayer to Avison?
Are you praying vocally, or are you just kind of
Yeah, she always prays vocally.
okay?
It will sound like prayers to Avison, but there are changes. She's not quite calling on the archangel herself, or any of the other archangels, but she is calling upon their shadows, from the light they cast. She is going to plead with it to show itself. As she's pleading, inspire them, show them that I am righteous, that I am on the right path, that what I do is right.
Murdered a nun.
What?
You pray,
Salt and pepper.
and you continue praying, but nothing appears. No shadow, no sign of Avison, nothing of the sort. Your prayers just are answered by silence. And then there is a voice behind all of you coming from out the hall through the open door. I'm sorry, is there a problem here? And you turn around, and a rather short man, about 5'5", I guess if you want to call him short, is standing there. He's of like a rugged look. He's got a bit of a like a bowler cap that looks like it's seen some better days, and his leather coat is torn and has patches all through it. And he is carrying a what looks to be like a briefcase with him. And as you turn, you see this man standing there. We've been hearing a lot of commotion come from this cart. Is everything okay?
Apologies.
Little. Private dispute gone a little more vocal than we had hoped. But we're okay. Just had some disagreements amongst ourselves.
He looks at the door, and you can see the nameplate, and then his eyes immediately go to Aywyn. Ma'am, are you okay here? Are they bothering you?
Is Victor still pointing a weapon at Aywyn?
You mean Hector?
Victor doesn't
Yeah.
exist in this world.
Oh,
Hearing
I don't know
the-
where I keep getting Victor.
We all did it.
We all did it.
Yeah.
I called him Victor for like a month.
It's his middle name.
hearing a person's voice other than one of us, you'd see the dagger that was in one hand slide into the top of the cane, and he just kind of rests it on the floor in front of him, standing like proper gentleman with a cane.
Say, Atric would kind of do the same with hearing a new voice. He would dismiss Felton and let him kind of fade. So there's no obvious, hey, there's a ghost in this room.
Right.
If Aywyn got them kicked out, she wouldn't be able to prove to them that she's right. So she's gonna go, there's no problem here.
Give me a persuasion check. Or deception.
We're going persuasion. That'll be a 22 total.
He looks at you, Awen. His eyes move slowly about the room, taking in everybody. All right. Well, try to keep your disagreements to a low rumble, if you don't mind. We do have other passengers.
Our apologies.
Oh, and if possible, could you send someone to tidy up my room later?
Yes, ma'am. Right away. And he turns, and as he's walking, you see, as he gets to the door, just as he shuts it, that briefcase that he's holding seems to have a wisp of nebble gas sucking into it. And then he moves out of the door, out of sight.
Did it look damp?
You just saw the nebble gas strand.
All right. Well, I don't. I'm not sure what to take of this. Aywyn. Now I don't know that I can trust you either.
Aywyn would go, we all just met. We've known each other for less than a day. If you trusted me implicitly beforehand, that would be a little strange, you know?
You're not wrong, but
You are all the dead people here, if I need to point this out.
rude. I mean, true, but rude.
Very rude.
Well,
That doesn't.
let's all agree that you're the only one alive here. Your family is dead. Let's leave them that way, please. I'd rather not fight them again.
Awen goes, well, I can assure you, I'm no ghoul caller, so
That's
I have
good.
no idea how they got up again.
I'd say again. How many times has it been again?
Vader, how many times has it been again?
You wouldn't know.
Awen will shrug and she goes, I don't know. I just know it's again.
That is terrifying.
Awen will kind of laugh very bitterly. She goes, do you see our world?
Yes.
Valid point.
I mean, that's not terrifying. There's all sorts of terrifying things in this world. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm on the path to becoming one of them, but whatever is in you, Aywyn, you might want to think about before listening too blindly. Murdering children and nuns cannot be good.
Awen will close her eyes and she'll just go, I know what the Archangel has told me. She requires sacrifices of us all.
That's what I'm afraid of. What if what you're listening to is not the Archangel? You call it the Angel's Shadow, which is fine. No, I have never heard the Angel's Shadow in the scriptures. I was always taught to look for Avis's light, not darkness.
Aywyn will again, you'll see her eyes kind of dart as she seems to be like trying to remember something. She's going to try to like remember her scripture as best she can, to just like find any passage that proves her point in the typical way like a fanatic does. Like even if it's not like really connected, she's just gonna try to find something that proves her point. I don't know if that would be a history check.
It'd be a religion check.
Religion. That will be an 11 total.
The only one that comes to your mind is the one that you've taught Baron and Sword. It is like the titular children's prayer. That's the only thing that comes to mind. We pray to Avicen on high, on snow-white wings fearless you fly. Keep safe our souls, keep safe our lives. May angels watch us from the skies.
She will quote that, and she says, anything that blocks the sun is a shadow, yes? Angels in the skies cast their shadows over us. In the shadow of her wings.
No. Avisson casts light. I've never seen a fire have a shadow. Anything that produces light does not. Something a fire adds on, sure. The fire itself, no. Whatever is in you, whatever has bound itself to you, where the Nebelgast has me. Think twice before listening to it, Aywyn. Spirits are a finicky thing.
Awen will look at Atric and she goes, I don't understand, you're such a good man, but why would you tell somebody to disobey the angel? And like she just seems genuinely baffled. She seems like she just cannot connect that. Like she's like, Atric good. Atric clearly a good guy. He's doing his best. He's undead, so he's kind of an abomination. But you can like see all these thoughts play on her face, and she's like, she's getting she's doing 2 + 2 and getting fish, and you can see it repeatedly.
2 + 2
Not
does
even-
equal fish.
There's not even a button for fish.
I'm not telling you to disobey the angel. Should Avicen herself say to do something, then by all means. However, I am asking you to think twice before you listen to whatever it is that is inside you. I am not convinced it is the angel's shadow. Aywyn, I have not seen her light cast a shadow through you. What I have seen are 3 things pretending to be your murdered family crawl and climb its way back into you. It is an unsettling possession, especially with you being with reasonable control of your faculties. Somewhat.
Sorry, Chugman the player laughed at that. Awen will go. She'll close her eyes. If something seems heinous, I'll at least inform you, all of you. But if the angel shadow marks someone, I'm telling you they're evil. I know it. I've seen it.
Awen, next time the angel shadow talks to you and tells you to kill someone, would you mind telling us first before you do it?
I can do you that kindness, I suppose. As long as there's nobody interfering.
Well, if you say the angel shadow is the one telling you to kill these people, I fail to see how a nun qualifies without a little further investigation, but if that's what she says, fine. How about next time the shadow tries tasking you something, let's give the angel a call first. Don't ask what the shadow would do. Ask what the light would do. Shadows hide things. Nothing hides in the light.
Not well.
As far as Aywyn knows, the angel hasn't answered anybody in a long time, right?
Yep.
Aywyn will kind of go, the preachers from Thraben haven't spoken to the angel at all in so long. Only her shadow can escape where she's at. But, Mr. Hector, you seem to have skills in sleuthing, investigation.
Passable knowledge, I guess you could say.
How about this? If I'm given a target, and you investigate them, and find their corrupt nature out for yourself, then I will be vindicated, yes?
Now that sounds interesting and fun. I like that idea. But you gotta tell us first, obviously. And even if the shadow or the angel doesn't answer you, you can always ask in your heart, what would the light do?
At that, you'll see like almost a little bit of fire in Aywyn's eyes as she goes, well, I know the truth of that already. It is only all of you who puts any doubt in me.
Just asking, but she think I struggle to see how two children could bring the downfall of the church.
What if I'm needed here? If I was at home in my village?
Are you saying that you're willing to murder your children, but not leave them alone for an extended period of time to do what the angel's shadow requires? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you have the willpower to murder your own boys, you could absolutely leave them alone for an extended period of time. It would be the less cruel thing to do.
Or she removed my doubt? They're safe in her embrace now.
Obviously not if they just stabbed me in the dark.
Anyone will go, we can't know what that was. Maybe the ghost from this train.
Didn't we hear the shadows talking? I might not have typed it down what they were saying in the middle of the fight, but it definitely sounded like small children.
Yeah, they asked Atrick why he would do that, and then they shut the door in his face.
Yep.
And then the
That's it. There was
the
just
husband
one.
shadow was just screaming incoherently.
Aywyn doesn't know any of this. She's unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't Aven say that her family's in the room?
Aywyn's been calling them her family this whole time.
Yeah.
This girl is gaslighting herself.
The room smells like pure gas.
I am so
Fire
concerned
spells
for this
will
poor lady.
cause this place to combust. Aywyn will go, look, I think we're all tired. And we could all use with a rest. And with your help, this room is safe. I
Is
will
this
pray
room-
for all of us, and I will try to reach the angel shadow. And maybe she can shine some wisdom on us.
Aim for the angel. But as you wish.
Definitely better the angel than the shadow.
Man, I don't want to leave her alone. I also don't want to be in a room with her trying to fall asleep.
I mean, do you technically need sleep?
Yeah,
You
it's
need
wibbly wobbly. But yeah,
you need rest.
I need rest. I don't technically sleep. I fall into that fugue state.
That's what I
You
thought.
inviting Aywyn to go sleep in somebody else's room?
Again, not sure I want to be left alone in a room with this woman. Can we strap her to the outside of the train? No.
Yes. We have
Just the
chains,
front.
rope, and manacles.
It's like some Fury Road shit.
You Fury
Yeah.
wrote it.
She'll never win a fight if we make sure she has level of exhaustion every day.
Look, honestly, if we have 2 fights a day, I bet half of them are gonna be Aywyn.
Fair. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if Atric would leave her be to go rest somewhere else.
I mean, we could just stay in her room. Or take her to one of our rooms.
Yeah, there are 2 extra cots in here.
That's not less creepy. You said that like it was supposed to be like, oh, just sleep over here. Like, sleep in the 2 cots I made for my dead children that you killed in this room.
Killed in this room.
Oh, we
You
did.
guys re-killed them here.
Murderers.
Exorcists. They were spirits. It's fine.
Murderer. How many times have they died?
Re-murderers.
No, Atric would probably leave. Because, again, we've known her for a day, but this is concerning for him. Not even a day. We've known her for 16 hours.
Yeah.
Aywyn will go. Let's all reconvene in the morning. There's more mysteries on this train than whatever the angel shadows want.
Sure. There's that. Oh, I'm sorry. The whole reason I was going through her luggage kit in the first case, are there scratch marks and or a nail on the inside of that? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Saffron's gonna go to her room, but before she goes, Awen, remember, if the shadow comes and talks to you and tell you a person is Mark, you better come talk to us first, please.
Aywyn will nod at that. She's used to trying to tell a holy person about this anyway, so
Try harder.
she will
Uh,
go, yes, Saffron, I often told the, I don't think it's called Lunarch. Lunarch's like the head of the church.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember what just the priests are. Is it just priest?
Yeah, priest is fine.
Yeah, should you go?
Herald.
Yeah, she goes, I often told the herald, and he often knew about the people the shadow targeted.
And he did not help you, or
The whole town helped us. We executed the heretics in the square.
okay. Would Saffron know anything about this? No.
No.
She thinks Aywyn is a bad shit crazy. She was like, oh, okay. Well, again, I'm right next door, so let's get some rest and don't bring your kids back.
There's like a little bit of a twinge, like, ow. But she'll just nod very tightly. And she will kind of usher them out and lock the door.
Everybody going to bed.
Double checking all my doors are locked and my suitcase is locked before I go to bed. But, well, yeah. Whatever counts for bed for Adric.
Hector will go into the room, and now that he's discovered a new fancy way to move about by climbing on walls, he's gonna wait a few minutes and take a peek out the window and creep over across the train and peek in a window. Because what the fuck?
You're gonna go outside.
I'm gonna crawl inside of the train. Or at least like stick my head out and see if it's at all possible.
So you can't fit your body through the window here. You'd have to go out through the vestibule door.
Not gonna do all that then.
Okay.
I thought it was a window you could like open and maybe squeeze out of.
It's not. You can open it, but it's not big enough for you to squeeze out of it.
Alrighty then.
Alright, everybody move their tokens back to where they go. I don't know what this sounds like, but hopefully it's cool. Nope, don't need voices on it.
Mirror.
Yeah, as you guys all settle in, Aywyn, as you kind of move throughout the room looking at how disheveled it is, you catch your reflection in the mirror. And as you're standing there, you're seeing your shadow self staring back at you. Eyes red. The symbol of Avacyn haloed above the back of your head like a halo. Then you fall asleep. You all fall asleep.
Aywyn, Requiem of a dream, of a dream, sleeps. She's full fetal position, curled in bed.
We hear the distant clicking of the hands of a clock moving slowly. Tick tock, tick, tock. The second hand thumping into place with each tick, with each tock, as we watch as it goes around in a full circle. Both the hour and the minute hand now face due north, and as that second hand finally marks the turning of the hour, a chime rings out, and you may all mark a long rest.
Nice.
Does the long rest fix the strength?
Yes, it does.
All right.
And does this one have hit point changes for long rests, or do we get like everything back like normal, or no?
This
can't
is just
recall.
normal long rest.
Okay.
Normal long rest, yeah.
They click it on both sheets because there's so many spells.
No, I slapped all that nonsense onto one sheet. I wasn't dealing with two.
The problem is Warlock pack spells just don't want to.
That's fair.
Maybe start with the warlock character sheet and then bring the other stuff over to it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's more or less how I have it. It's only the spell list for the other sheet
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
because the Warlock like pack slots, I guess, like override all over other kinds of like.
I gotcha.
Fun times.
No, I should have protection surges. Why are you saying I don't have any?
Why does it show me proficient in strength saving throws? Glad to hear
Fighter.
it.
Oh, you're not a fighter. You're a ranger.
I'm a fighter.
Yeesh.
I'll fight you. Let's go.
So, you all awake the next day. Again, here in the in between, we'll call it. There is no sun. The moon shines perpetually as night envelops all. You wake up and the moonlight coming in through the windows is more of a golden color right now, a faint golden color versus like this pale silver that it usually is. And if you look outside your window, you can see that there's a bit of a yellowish tint to the moon. You can see packs of wolves running alongside the train. See in the distance trees uprooting themselves as they take swipes at humanoid figures that run through the boughs. You could hear in the distance screams for help. And as Atrek looks out the window, the nebel gas is thick outside. Specters and wraiths rise up, and you watch as they consume living creatures that maneuver their way, that scurry about. All of this just in a blinding flash as the train continues to whip forward. Who has the bag that was found in that person's room? Hector still? It's not in the position
For
you
some
put
reason.
it in. Yeah, you notice it's not in the place you set it in before you went to sleep.
It's still in the room.
Still in the room, but not in
So-
the position.
Okay. It moved, it didn't disappear.
Correct.
Everyone's taking snack breaks. turn off cameras and stuff.
As many peanuts as I can
Damn.
eat in one moment.
I want a snack break.
I will. Does it still have? If memory serves, it was kind of moist and had a handprint on it.
Yep,
Still the same.
absolutely.
Okay. Hmm. I will pick it up along with the rest of my stuff, get it on, head out into the hallway, and go find Atric, being the Nebelgast expert. And as I walk by, I'll knock on the doors of both Saffron and Aywyn, and then knock on Atric's door.
I'm up. What is it? Is somebody insane again?
No,
Oh, that's good news.
just a thought. Because you seem to have a affinity, shall we say, for the Nebelgast. And when I woke this morning, this, and he'll hold up the little bag, had moved. Still generally where I put it, but it was not in the same position it was in when I left it.
Awen will have been walking up behind. She goes, "We are on a train. Things do shift."
Is it still damp?
Yep.
Is it as damp as it was the previous night, or is it dried at all?
Just as damp.
Like a fresh sponge.
Like a fresh sponge.
Man, y'all need
Seems
sponges.
seems to be a theme for tonight. I haven't yet decided how dumb I'm going to get and open this bag now that it's moving again. But seems like whatever was inside or was consuming the Nebelgast.
This, I will admit this is why I stayed away from it. I'm not quite certain how much of me is physical anymore, and how much of myself is Nebelgast.
Well, we could always decide to get dumb, but I'd suggest maybe doing it somewhere a little more open and a little farther from groups.
I don't. Perhaps the
Observation car?
that's the one. I was going to call it a caboose, but observation car is the correct word.
Because that's the observation car's at the very end of the train, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's as far from people. It's a little bit more open, so we don't have to worry about jumping over each other in a tiny hallway or a tiny room.
I'm not opposed.
It might be nothing, though.
It might be. Actually, at the end of the day, it would probably be best if it was nothing, right? Just a wet bag.
It's cute of you to think it's nothing,
I didn't
or even
think
want
it
to
would
believe
be.
it.
It is best to look at what little light there is. You look at the dark side of everything, it becomes dreary very fast.
Awen will go, "If I may, maybe we go to the dinner car first for breakfast."
Ah,
I guess
well,
you
I'm
do
not
need to
particularly
eat.
hungry. Sure. I'm not. I suppose I could sit. Actually, I was thinking perhaps we ask the porter. I think that was the gentleman who stopped by last night. His briefcase had a similar Nebelgast effect. Oh, actually, the Nebelgast seemed to have been leaking out of the briefcase, correct? As opposed to being
Sucking
sucked
in.
in. It was sucking in.
Sucking in. Yep.
It seemed to have a similar effect on the Nebelgast.
Because we've met the conductor, but we never actually were introduced to the porter, I believe. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
You were given his name, Cecil Abernathy.
And that was one of the names I believe were not associated with vampires.
I think that he's just associated with the train.
Yeah.
He was in the bar last night.
We never were introduced, technically.
That was a different guy.
Huh.
You guys haven't seen Cecil except for when he stopped by to make sure y'all were all right.
So we would need to talk. Perhaps we could talk to him and see if there's something going on in the luggage cot.
Well,
They
Mc-
seem
oh,
rather defensive of the luggage cart.
Correct. It's just half the reason I want to get in there. But perhaps that's just me being nosy. If all of the bags have a tendency to absorb or beckon the Nebelgast, I am endlessly curious, however. Something about that sits uncomfortable with me. But the last person I saw collecting Nebelgast, well, turned me into this.
Also, what is Nebelgast?
Beards. Or what's left of them. It's a collection of souls. Those left behind. Some angry, some kind. Some defensive, some protective. They are echoes of what was here.
Like Saint Traft?
Similar. Saint Traft is much more whole. Himself, an individual. These spirits are more, at least the ones in the Nebelgast that I've seen, a bit more fragmented. They're less individuals and more a melding, a soul soup, if you will. I'm not quite certain about a way to describe it. Saint Traft is Saint Traft. That is him. It is. His personality was so strong. It left a very strong echo behind, a mark of who he is, or was. From
So
my
Felton
understanding,
is like Saint Traft.
probably. I never really stopped to think about it.
Could you summon Felton?
Is it? If sure. Then Atric will do so, and that the noble gas seems to like seep out of the wounds or the scars left over from the surgery that he was forced into, and it collects into Felton Graves.
So Aywyn is now capable of some math here. If Saint Traft is a saint and thus holy, and is a ghost like Felton, then Felton's a saint. So she'll kind of like clasp towards Felton's hands. She goes, "It's good to meet you, Saint Felton."
I think both Atric and Felton just stop. And a lot of times, if they're not paying attention, they have a tendency to mimic each other. Like each one is echoing the other, but in this moment, they stop and like look at each other. I don't. I don't know enough to say that he is not a saint, but I don't know enough to say that he is in fact a saint. Felton is a protector first. He was never, at least to my understanding, a part of the church.
That
I
he
mean,
was a good and just and holy man. He died like Saint Traft, came back like Saint Traft.
he was a good man.
Came back
Saint,
all right.
he's here all right. Saint Traft came back to defend Shadowgrange. That was his place where his monument is. I was meaning to go there. Oh, I went there? You see Atric hands go up and rubs over the symbol of the White Lotus.
As you touch that symbol, almost like in like the echoes of like your memory, you don't get like a visual to it, but you just hear the sounds of swords clanking against other swords, and the like scratches against claws beating metal. It's just like an overwhelming sound for a moment. It just kind of echoes in the back of your mind of just like a huge battle, but it doesn't resonate or really like lock in with you.
This is going to be a rite of passage. I think. Either way, Saint Traft is bound to Shadowgrange. Felton's, well, as far as
He's
I
a
can
free
tell,
saint.
bound to me, or perhaps I am bound to him. I'm not quite sure of the specifics. Kind of woke up with him at my side.
Aywyn seems to like kind of go more into thought. Because she's attached what she can attach to her understanding of this, which is, righteous men, good men, holy men come back with their sanity.
But is it? Perhaps. What?
So
Why ask?
brunch then experiment?
Brunch. Sure. I'm sorry. I'm not very hungry. I apologize for getting distracted. Yes. Onwards to the cask.
I guess Saffron's a heavy sleeper. I'll go back and knock on her door since we're all out and as we're moving that way.
Well, as soon as you go to knock on the door, she opens the door.
And she's dead.
He's already dead.
Again.
Yeah.
Once again.
You've been re-murdered.
Man, there's a lot of stuff getting re-murdered on this train.
The
re-murder train.
She's
That's
gonna.
intro for you.
Dude.
She's gonna to ask Hector. Oh, what are you guys doing? How's Aywyn? Have you talked to her?
She seems as normal as always. Aywyn wanted to get some breakfast, and then we were gonna, well, the bag that we found last night in the room of consuming the Nebelgast, it moved of its own will while I was asleep. So,
Okay. So where are we going after Awen gets food? The bag moved.
Yeah.
Which
The
we were-
observatory.
exactly.
Well, let's go get Awen some food, and then you can catch me up on what we're supposed to do next.
Okay.
And do we know how
guys-
long of a train ride this is again? I'm sorry, you
No.
told us.
No.
As long
you
as the
don't.
ride needs to be.
Okay.
Yep.
And we've been
Oh.
in the train for like 16 hours now. 16.
Maybe. It could have been 10 minutes. Time is weird.
Yeah,
here.
it's time is weird.
Okay.
The time when you guys step out and you like step into one of like the common areas and you see like a clock standing there, it is at 12. But because of the moonlight outside, you don't know if that's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. But you make your way and you can easily get yourself some breakfast. Is there anything in particular you guys wanted to do at breakfast, or
Is there anybody there at the breakfast cart? Any other people?
not? No, not at this time.
There's those call boxes throughout the train, though.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and every vestibule.
All right. Oh, it's in the vestibule itself.
Yeah.
While Awen is eating, and if Atric needs to fill Saffron in on the other previously discussed details, Hector's going to go to the vestibule and call the porter, or call for the porter and have him come to us in the dining car.
Okay. So you call for the porter, and as you hang up the little earpiece onto the hook, slide the door open to go back into the breakfast car. At the opposite end, opening the door at the same time, is Cecil Abernathy. He walks right over to you.
Is that the guy we saw from the night before?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, good morning there. How's everybody feeling today?
Much better
Better?
after a night's rest.
Good. What can I do for you?
Well, one of our bags seems to be a bit, well, not sitting well in the rooms. I was hoping we could get into the luggage car and stow it away safely.
If you need something stored in the luggage car, I can take it for you.
It seems to be a bit important. And is he carrying anything currently? Does he have the briefcase on him right now or no?
Didn't have anything on him.
It's just strange. It got awfully damp. It was very wet. Hoping we'd find a spot dry.
Well, I can assure you that it's quite dry in the luggage cart. Again, if you have luggage that you need to store, that you no longer want to take up room in your quarters, I can fetch a cart and roll it to the luggage cart for you. It will be safe.
As
How do I say
he's
this? Weird.
kind of talking, as Atric's talking to him, and this bag is, you said it's like a messenger bag size thing?
Yep. Yeah.
Your satchel?
Yep.
Hector's gonna has it on him, if it has a strap. He's gonna kind of adjust it in a way where the bag is visible to Cecil, and watch his face and see if he recognizes it or changes his expression at all.
Yep. You see no visible signs of recognition or anything. He just continues having the conversation with Atric.
the other thing is that the locked trunk in my room. The lock works well, everything was great there, except for when I opened it, it looked like something was trying to claw its way out from the inside. Does that make any sense to you? I didn't put any creature or live animal in there. As a
I
matter
was just about to ask if you had pets that you forgot about. That does sound pretty strange. What size were the claw marks? Were they like a rat or something?
Oddly large, actually, and he pulls out the nail. And this,
Oh,
have you ever seen anything like this before?
this gives him a little bit of a change in face, like he recognizes it. That's strange. I've seen something like this before. I
Whereabouts?
can't remember. One of the cabins. I was just cleaning it out last night. Saw something similar.
Maybe over something. Would you mind if we took a look? I could let you know at the very least if it was the same way my cabin was.
Well, it's clean now, but I do have the trunk that was in there.
That would be great. Perhaps we could take a look at that. I'll let you know if it's a similar problem at least.
Oh, I don't know. We're not supposed to let others tamper with others' belongings.
What?
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh, Atrix should not be the one talking. Y'all with charisma characters got to speak up.
Can Aywyn actually step in on that?
No, you may not. 12. He looks hesitant. But, you can see he's, like, racking his brain, and he's thinking, he's like, okay, but you can't tell anybody I'll let you in there.
Not a word from me.
If the Raven Shades found out that I let anybody tamper with anybody's belongings, it would be my head.
I understand, good man. They won't hear it from me at all. This is just an odd situation. I'd just like to try and help to get to the bottom of it. That is all.
But, I mean, technically you're cleaning the room out, so whatever was in there, the person left behind when they left the train.
Oh, but even a lost item can be reclaimed. At least that's the policy we have here.
You-
Anything that gets left in the rooms, I bring to the luggage carriage, and that's where it stays. If somebody comes back to claim it, and they can identify it properly, then we give it back.
You were cleaning the room out last night?
Right.
Did they just get off the train by chance?
Well, yes, we had just had a few passengers disembark.
The train didn't stop for us, did it? We never felt it stop.
The train isn't supposed to stop until Primrose.
Well, it's got plenty of stops in between here and there.
We were the last stop.
That was what my memory was saying as well. Huh.
You were the last to get on. But as far as stops, we have quite a few.
Oh, strange. I didn't feel the train come to a halt last night. I must have not been paying attention.
Perhaps it was when you were asleep.
Perhaps.
Well, I'm quite busy, but I can take a moment to show you the luggage carriage.
Of course, I don't mean to hold you up.
Lead the way, good sir.
Aywyn is like, meanwhile, like half shoving like that half-eaten loaf of bread into her pocket. She's like trying to just grab as much food as she can off this plate.
Would
So,
Saffron notice that she's stuffing food in her bag?
And she is not hiding it. There is no subtlety.
Aven, is that for you?
Well, yeah. Why would I want food to go to waste? This
Huh.
just seems genuine. She is a poor farmer girl who is like, free bread. Hell yeah. They
Okay,
even
because
they even roast this loaf.
wouldn't you
Endless
like stuffing food?
breadsticks. Yes.
Did you like stuffing food last time for your kids?
Oh yeah, she did
Well,
that
that's
too.
why Saffron
Yeah.
is like,
Like,
okay.
this is like one of those like mom moments where you're lucky there's like silverware left on this table. She's
Um,
going to leave the train with the bed sheets and the pillowcases and probably the pillows.
You're gonna be charged so much.
That credit card is just
Your credit
racking up.
card is yeah.
Aywyn will call up to the porter. Oh, I also have 2 extra cots in my room that could be removed.
Okay. Well, I can handle it. And he brings you through a number of cars where you go through the Crimson Cast, the Velvet Parlor. You go through a number of like just kind of like passenger type carts. Then eventually you get to this door that is locked. It has a heavy wooden door, but it has that like thick opaque glass, like a big pane of it in the middle. And just on the glass, kind of etched into it, it just says luggage. And there's a big brass lock and handle. And he takes his key out of his pocket. He slides it in with a loud clunk and click. You hear the lock mechanisms react, and there's like a series of clicks as if like multiple locks are being unlocked by this one key. And then with a resounding like thud, metallic thud, he opens the door, slides it to the side, and you stare out in this long corridor of different crates and barrels and luggages and like boxes, things that are covered with sheets. There's cages of sorts and stuff that are just empty, that are just like put over to the side. Like they look like really like ornamental type cages, iron cages. Um, well, uh, here's the luggage. The trunk is right there in the middle. Have a look if you want.
Excuse me.
He points over to the trunk.
Awen, when he pulled out the key, is just gonna memorize that key, like as hard as she can burn that into her memory.
Mm-hmm.
Every detail she can. So, like, if she found his key ring, she would know. Oh, that's the luggage key.
Yeah,
It's Adrix.
okay.
Adric's gonna go up to the trunk and the first look over the outside, but I'm assuming there's no scratches on the exterior. So he'll open it up and look at the interior. Are they the same scratches, or is there scratches on the inside?
You open the trunk, and you indeed find scratches inside the trunk. But you also find the scratches are kind of more uniform rather than random, and they look to form a sort of sigil. Give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty then. Does this have anything to do with the what's it called? My doohickey.
I believe it's called Hunter's Bane.
Thank you. Yeah, so demons, fae, undead, fiends.
Neither of those.
Just thought I'd check. Thank you, Sylvan, for knowing my feats better than me. Ooh, that's a whole 7 for Atric.
Yeah, you're not sure what this sigil is. In fact, the more you look at it, the more it seems to get lost within the scratches, so you're actually not even sure that there is a sigil.
Atric will pull out his journal and quickly sketch what he thought he saw. And it probably looks like absolute chicken scratch because it's tough to. What the hell was that? Huh. Oh, and the scratches look to be about the same size as the nail that Atric
Yep.
has.
Yep.
Oh, it definitely looks to be roughly the same size. Is this the only one of these that has these marks? Have there been others? Or perhaps have there been any other luggages that seem oddly damp? And or, this might sound odd, drawing in the Nebelgast or the mist?
He still thinks. He's like, no, not that I can recall. This is the first time I've seen anything like it. You showed me that nail, and I found a similar one in this trunk
Oh,
when I retrieved it.
okay. Well, if you don't mind my asking, do you know whose room this was in? Perhaps I could ask them. They might know more. Oh no, you said they departed. Drat.
Yes, they had left. Um, he he thinks for a moment, trying to like remember.
Is there like no name on the trunk or anything?
There's no name on the trunk, but he thinks he's like, I think it was that lovely singer we had with us for some time. She used to sit at the Crimson Cask all night, sing. Strange to see her go. She's been with us for so long. To be honest, I thought she worked here.
Did you happen to catch her name, by chance? She's been here for so long.
Of course I got it. Um,
As Cecil
her
scrolls
name
through the notes
was...
saved in his brain.
Yeah, yeah. Let me click on this.
Random name generator.
No, I've got her name right here. Celeste Moraine. Perhaps you've heard of her. She said she was quite well known throughout the land.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give me history checks, you may.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if I had it, it would not be appropriate for Aywyn to know a
He-
single thing like that.
Hector's a refined gentleman, or so he believes himself.
That is an 11, I believe, for Atric. Yeah,
And a
11 for Atric.
17 for Hector.
17 for Saffron.
Both Hector and Saffron would have heard that name, Celeste Moraine. She's definitely, she's not like, oh my god, super famous, but she is well known for her craft. She is an opera singer, and she has put on many shows in the major areas of Innistrad. You may have caught her show, or you may have at least seen the marquee for it. However,
Which other dogs, right?
however, you guys would also know that she hasn't put on a show for at least 10 years. Some say she disappeared.
And that's 10 years before our random skip in time that we don't even know how long that was.
Correct.
So you think she got off the train the last stop?
I know she got off the train. I carried most of her stuff. She didn't want this trunk. She said it could stay here.
So where did she get off? What's the stop?
I don't have names. We just stopped.
How'd she
That's me,
know to
the
get
GM,
out?
saying "fuck you." They
This
got off
train is-
on 33rd and 4th.
This train is breaking all sorts of regulations, I'm sure. I don't know enough about train rules.
What are
This
the
is-
train rules?
This
Random
train is
train
making
stop.
its own tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We
She
are
just
on a train.
decided.
So you'll say it's off the rails?
I mean, we're,
There you go.
Ah.
Ah,
it's a crazy train.
ching.
It would have been fascinating to see her perform. I'm sorry we missed it, and the only thing she left behind was this trunk, no other belongings left in it.
That's right.
Wasn't there a singer in the lounge last night?
But that was not her.
That was her.
Oh, that
We
was
never
her.
asked.
You're right. We were distracted.
Distracted.
Yeah, but
Aywyn got
Bye.
milk. He was happy.
Aywyn's full of random red drops of who knows what.
A lot of the innocent. Oh, I made that joke before, and I was really right now. Oh no.
As you're looking at this trunk, you guys do see that there are some strange looking footprints that kind of impress into the wood of the floor. They look rather damp, and they look like they lead away from the trunk over to the shelves where multiple bags are, and then just stop.
Aywyn will look over at the porter's boots. Do they appear to be damp?
No. These footprints are bare, like bare feet.
Didn't we see these footprints before, too?
Yeah, it's squishing through the weird, decrepit train hallway when the train switched to being not good shape. Yeah. Were those footprints here when we walked in?
You just now noticed them.
That is such a non-answer, and I dislike that. You often have people walking around back here barefoot, Cecil.
No, only I and Elias are allowed to come back here.
Aywyn would go, that would be mighty improper if you were just allowing wet, barefooted people walk around here.
Again, we take everybody's privacy very serious here. I haven't let anybody in here, and I know for a fact Elias hasn't. This is my area. The only time this door is open is when I open it to bring luggage in or out. And nobody comes in here barefoot. It's a hazard.
Then where did these have
Where
come
did these come from?
Can Saffron walk towards where the barefoot steps has led to see where it leads to the luggage, right?
Yep, and just stops right there.
So I want to see the luggage around there, like if there's a name or if there's any kind of something happened to the luggage, or if there's any kind of if something happened there.
Give me an investigation check.
I was gonna say I'm gonna follow with her and Do we see the bag that he was carrying the night before?
Give me an investigation.
So 4.
So, while they're over there looking, Atrek would look to
Nice.
Awen and be like, I swear I might have seen something in these scratches. Do you mind taking a look at it really quick?
That's a 23 for my investigation.
Awen will look down at the scratches.
Trying to see if somebody else can pull that sigil.
Give me a perception check, Awen.
Bad news for you. Awen's not particularly great at perception. But
That's
that is
not
a
bad.
15.
As you're looking in this trunk, while Saffron and Hector move a little bit further into the cart to go up to where these footsteps go. You're looking and you're trying to see if you can see anything made out with these scratches. And from inside this empty trunk, you could swear that you hear a child's voice calling for help, echoing from nowhere, but just coming out from the center of this chest. There is a shudder in the cart, and some of the bags and stuff topple onto the floor and spring open. You guys kind of stutter a bit before you right yourself, and you guys notice that the cart is different, more dingy. There's that smell of mildew and dampness. And that bag, that case that he was carrying last night, Saffron, you find it. And as you unclasp it and open it, you find nothing but just clothing. But Hector feels a movement, like something is slithering, snaking off of him, and you hear a wet thud as the bag that he has been carrying falls onto the ground. It sits there for a moment, and then you see a little flap just move as if something tapped it, and then another one, and then the bag's flap completely flips open, exposing the interior of this bag. And at first you see nothing, but then a small wisp of nebul gas begins to trail towards it as if it's being sucked in. And you can feel that inverse of air, and then it gets bitterly cold as the lights begin to flicker in here, and you notice that Cecil is nowhere to be seen.
You said the lights are starting to flicker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Atrek is going to light up the hammer.
As you light up the hammer, you see the shadows moving around are kind of sucking in through the interior towards your light, and you watch as like these little tendrils begin to wrap around your hammer, and as your light lights up, you see that bag is now rising into the air as a foot steps out of it, a leg longer than any human leg that you've seen pulls its way out, followed by a second one. Then a large clawed hand grips at the edge of the bag. A second one comes out, wrapping its fingers around, pulling itself out. And as it does so, the bag is turning and lifting into the air. And you watch as the bag is now upside down, the body of this creature coming out. And as it turns, it looks at the source of the light. It's just a sewed, like knapsack of a head, and it's starts to slit right down the middle where one eye appears, and then another slit appears, and another eye appears, and then a slit appears along the side as rows of jagged teeth emerge. And as this creature shows up, it slams its hands into the ground, and where all the bags that were open around, all hands come around, and I need everybody to give me dexterity saving throws.
Oh, I don't know why, but I don't like this thing already.
Bagman.
This is 17 for Atric.
Dirty 20 for Hector.
A natural 1 for Aywyn.
14 for Zephyr.
And you're not trying to murder us. You roll normally, Chug.
You guys watch
true.
in horror as these two elongated shadow-like hands grab Aywyn and Saffron by their throat and pull them into the bag, and they disappear out of sight. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Fuck.
As Aywyn was going to close the chest because the screaming children were not her problem.
I saw you flip that coin. I saw you
I
flip that
did.
coin.
I flipped a coin and I was like, yeah, Aywyn doesn't give a shit. This isn't her problem. Shadow says nothing. She doesn't do nothing.
The
The
bagman
bagman.
cometh.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna give Sylvan inspiration because you called it, I believe. But what a great session, y'all.
Yeah, that was wild.
see.
That was incredible.
We'll see what happens next time. Thank you, chat, for sticking around and hanging out with us. Thank you, my awesome players, for making this such a fun story. And I can't wait to murder you next time. See us next Monday for Elderwin, and then the Monday after that, we'll be back in Primrose. Everybody have a good night. And
Yeah.
may
Thank
the
you all
Baba
for
Yaga
watching.
not take you this
Thank you all for watching.
Beware
Bye-bye.
bags and horses.
Don't get babysitted by Aywyn.